Pocahontas is the 33rd Disney animated feature film. It is the 6th film released during the period known as the Disney Renaissance era. It was released in 1995, and I think it's one of the most romantic Disney films ever released. The only problem is that it isn't supposed to be. Pocahontas is the first Disney film based on real people and real events. However, Disney took big liberties with the real life events. In real history, Pocahontas was 11 years old when she met John Smith, who was 28. There is no evidence of a romantic relationship between Pocahontas and John Smith. It is also debatable whether Pocahontas saved Smith's life or not. So the question is, why was the story turned into a romance? Well, the answer to that question goes back to Beauty and the Beast that released 4 years earlier. Beauty and the Beast was a huge success and was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. This was the first time in history that an animated film had ever been nominated for Best Film of the Year, and it made huge news in Hollywood. Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was the head of the film division at Disney, wanted to aim for the same success and pushed for Pocahontas to be a romantic film in the same vein as Beauty and the Beast. The film was directed by Mike Gabriel and Eric Goldberg. Mike Gabriel was the director of The Rescuers Down Under. Gabriel came up with the idea for the film during a Thanksgiving weekend. He pitched his idea at a Gong Show meeting. The Gong Show was a way for animators to pitch their ideas to be turned into feature films. Gabriel's pitch was quickly accepted, becoming the quickest story turnaround in Disney studio history. Eric Goldberg had incredible success as the supervisor animator of the Genie from Aladdin. It was such a success that he was offered to co-direct Pocahontas. Eric agreed and joined Gabriel. Eric expected the film to be more comedic and cartoonish like Aladdin, as that was his style of animation, but he was told that the film would be more like fine art to aim for the Oscars. The directors worked hard to make Pocahontas an instantly likeable character. They wanted her to be one with nature, but also have a very playful side to her.
We were trying to really find Pocahontas' tone. We knew we wanted her to be a very spiritual person, somebody who has a connection with nature all the time and whose thoughts run deeper than might seem at surface. But she also always had a playful side, a mischievous side, that we also wanted to capitalize upon for the entertainment value of that. So it took the fine balance to find who Pocahontas was.
Glenn Keane was the supervising animator of Pocahontas. Glenn Keane is an animation god. He was the supervising animator for Ariel, Beast from the Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and now had a new challenge with animating a real person who existed in history.
We've never before done a story that based on somebody who actually walked and lived here on Earth. All the other ones have been based on fairy tales and imaginary stories. This one is real.
Glenn always searched for the best way to connect with a character. He always spoke about getting to know the character before it came out of his pencil. For this assignment, he decided to travel to Jamestown to see the setting of the film.
At the early stage, you have to find something that's going to inspire you. In the case of Pocahontas, I thought, I need to go to Jamestown. I need to go to Jamestown to experience whatever might happen. So I went down there, and I remember walking around out in the woods, picturing, maybe it was right under these trees here that John Smith was waiting for Pocahontas.
Glenn was trained in animation by Disney's 9 Old Men, a legendary group of animators from the golden and silver age of Disney animation. They would constantly remind Glenn that you need to animate with sincerity. It has become a famous quote in the animation world. An animator needs to believe that his drawings are living, breathing characters. They need to connect with them in order to make the animation believable.
I can't draw without really feeling it and believing it. Eric Larson, one of the old timers in animation, kept saying to me, Glenn, you've got to animate with sincerity. Okay, animate with sincerity. I put my pencil down the paper, and what does that mean? Do you press harder on the pencil? Do you grit your teeth more? I mean, what is sincerity? And as I listened to these guys talk about Pinocchio and Snow White, and I found out that they weren't referring to cartoon characters. These were real people that they knew. They just happened to be drawings. When I first started, I thought animation was about a lot of moving drawings. And I find that that's not what it's about. It's not about moving drawings. It's about drawings that move people.
Can we all just take a moment to be in awe of Glenn Keane, because he is the ultimate bar to aim for if you want to be an animator. The way he talks about animation inspires me every time. he has such a good connection to the medium. To assist Glenn Keane with the creation of Pocahontas was the talented Irene Bedard, who provided the voice of Pocahontas. For the first time, the female character in a Disney film was not a damsel in distress. She was brave and courageous, and Irene put this into the voice of Pocahontas.
She brought a depth to the performance of Pocahontas that is different than, say, with Ariel or Jasmine or Belle. Pocahontas is more of a woman instead of a teenager. And there's got to be sincerity and nobility in the way she speaks.
This is how we say hello. Wingapo.
Like everything else in this picture, less is more. And Irene gave a performance that was very controlled and confident. It fit perfectly with Pocahontas.
Another fantastic casting was Russell Means, the voice of Chief Powhatan. He brought a high level of respect to the project. He wanted to do this to bring his own knowledge to the project.
I don't think there's anybody on the planet who could have given Powhatan's voice the warmth, the depth, and the scope than Russell Means. When we had him in to read a couple of lines for us, we were all blown away by the depth that he brought.
Whenever the wind moves through the trees, I feel her presence. I looked at Powhatan and at my own ancestors in trying to capture his spirit, and I was able to identify with Powhatan and become part of him. It was actually very easy because he's my role model. I mentioned that all the dwellings face east, so they all face in one direction. So if you'll notice in the script that the dwellings all do face one direction. They're not all a hodgepodge. Address one another by relationships rather than by name. That's specifically true with Powhatan and his interaction with his daughter. My daughter.
Wingapo, father.
Seeing you gives me great joy. Those are just some of the little things that the producer and directors listen to. So I'm very pleased with this, and very proud is the optimum word that I want to use. I'm very proud to be associated with it. I just can't get over the fact that the truth is being told here.
The supervisor animator for Chief Powhatan was Ruben Aquino. He had just come off of animating adult Simba on The Lion King, so this was a busy few years for him, as The Lion King and Pocahontas were in production at the same time.
It feels great, especially when the audience reacts the way you hoped they would react. You know, if they laugh at the right places and sigh at the right places, or go cheering at the right places, it's a great feeling. It's like you created magic, you know, although you hear that word all the time. It's still a word we use all the time when we're talking about what we do, because we still have that pixie dust, you know.
John Pomeroy was the supervisor animator for John Smith. John had been away from the Disney studio for 14 years. He was one of the animators who left Disney with Don Bluth to create their own animation company and create The Land Before Time. This was Pomeroy's first assignment back at Disney.
It's the amount of substance that the animator will craft into the character. Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's hidden. But it radiates a certain spirit or life force that convinces the viewer that this two-dimensional artwork is alive, living, and breathing. Consequently, we get the audience to bite off on it, and we engage in that wonderful, willing suspension of disbelief.
The supervisor animator for Ratcliffe utilised geometric shapes to create the character. Animators can find clever ways to use shapes to help give clues about who the character will be. They wanted to show the arrogance of Ratcliffe.
Well, largely he's greedy and corrupt, and he sort of represents an effete aristocracy. So we translate those character traits into geometrical shapes. That's basically how it arrives. In the earlier versions of Ratcliffe, he was much more pear-shaped. As we realized he was turning into more of a nasty villain in development, we raised his center of gravity to his chest, so he seems more pompous and nasty and arrogant and physically menacing.
Nick Renieri was the supervisor animator of Miko. He had been the supervisor animator on Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast. Nick was assigned to a different character first, called Red Feather, who was a wisecracking turkey. But it was decided that the turkey did not fit the film and he was cut. All the animals were made mute for the film, and Miko was invented.
I think you just basically put yourself into that position. It sounds cliche, but you actually have to become the character. And Pocahontas says something to you, how would you react without actually saying something? You get upset, considering you think of your personality as I'm always hungry and she says this to me. Or John Smith doesn't have any more biscuits and I'm like, you know, I'm really upset. I just sort of try to get it from within and use whatever acting skills I have.
As I said, the film goes through many different changes as the film develops. All artists put forward ideas to see what helps tell the story the best. Sometimes you have to get rid of good ideas if they don't help tell the story. It is important in storytelling to have a theme that runs throughout.
And I think part of the magic of Disney animation is the fact that one goes through an evolutionary process of it doesn't work, 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 and finally it works, with changing it over and over again. I think the secret is being open to change. Never get married to your own ideas.
To promote the film, Disney used the same marketing technique as they did with The Lion King. They released one full song as the trailer. This worked incredibly well for The Lion King. They released the 4-minute musical number Colours of the Wind as the trailer, and it worked pretty well to get people excited for the movie. Pocahontas grossed $346.1 million worldwide in its initial run. It was the 4th highest grossing film in America of 1995, behind Apollo 13, Toy Story and Batman Forever. It was a good success, but Disney was upset as it was hoping it would be a mega success like The Lion King was, but nothing was beating the box office success of The Lion King. A video game titled Disney's Pocahontas, based on the film, was released on the Sega Genesis in 1996. Pocahontas, along with other Disney princesses, made a brief return in Ralph Breaks the Internet, with Bedard returning for the role. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like finding out facts about Disney, then this is part of a series where I'm doing 100 facts about every single Disney film. So subscribe and check out some of my other videos. Next week will be 100 facts about the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'll see you there, guys.